I've got a question from the BBC. I don't have a name. Name here? No? Okay. Carl, ITV.
Hi, thanks for coming to talk to us today. Two questions. What is the opinion of the people of Greenland about possibly being part of the United States? And also, what effect is this having on people's state of mind? All these threats coming from an overwhelmingly powerful neighbour which you couldn't defend yourselves against if you could, if you had to.
There are really two answers to your questions, but the answer is somewhat the same. If you ask the people of Greenland, there are quite a bit of worry. People are concerned about the messages from the United States about annexing Greenland or buying Greenland. It causes a great deal of worry about the future. People are reporting difficulties to sleep. This is really filling the agenda and the discussions around the households. So it's a massive pressure that we are under, and people are feeling the effects of it. So that's the population. They are quite worried. We try to, of course, keep calm and work our way through it. If you asked on a more political level, I think both my premier and the coalition and all the party leaders in Greenland has made quite clear that we have no intentions of becoming American. It is not something we have aimed for, worked for, but we have worked towards more collaboration with Americans for many, many years. We are an American ally, but we do not see ourselves as becoming Americans. We are quite happy with being part of the Kingdom of Denmark.
Can I just quickly add to that? As you see yourselves as an American ally, do you feel betrayed by the language that's coming out of Washington?
We feel betrayed. We feel that the rhetoric is offensive, as we have stated many times before, but also bewildering, because we have done nothing but support the notion that the Greenland is a part of the American national affair of interest. We recognize this and have done so for many decades. So we are an ally, and so are Denmark. We are allies of the US, and of course we are bewildered that now I have to have a press conference discussing a possible annexation or selling of Greenland. So for us, this is not something we sought. This is not something I think we deserved. I think we have been good partners.
Thank you. And Mari from Financial Times.
Hello. Can I ask two questions? First, do you expect more US investment in Greenland as a consequence of both this? And then secondly, I have a bit more specific question. Greenland has banned uranium mining. And I was wondering, would the government reverse that ban if mined uranium was going to the US or to Denmark as a consequence of everything that is happening? Do you have any thoughts on that?
Well, I cannot speak to what happens after tomorrow, of course, but I think the ban on uranium stands quite clear, that the people of Greenland have spoken. They do not want mining of uranium, and we have developed a mineral strategy that works perfectly around this. We are able to provide the minerals needed without using uranium as a source in this process. So I think we have been quite clear, and the Parliament has voted on this, and I respect that vote, and we have no current plans on moving in any other direction than that. Your first question was about investments from the States. Well, we do welcome American investments into Greenland and have done so and tried to advocate for it for quite a while, actually. We don't have a lot of American investments. Will there be more? I cannot really speak to that. I can see that they are welcome. We are an open economy. Right now, I think in the mineral sector, what you would see is more UK investments. We have a lot of European investments, Danish investments, Canadian primarily. So not a lot of American at the moment.
Just quickly, do you think this will be part of the talk tomorrow?
I wouldn't know. I cannot speak to that, but what I can say is I think there is more than one interest into Greenland from the US side. Of course, there is a matter of national security that we are perfectly willing to discuss. There's also the matter of access to minerals, which we are perfectly willing to discuss. And there is possibly concerns about maybe the different routes and interests from other countries that we also are interested in discussing. So I think there are nothing that shouldn't be on the table tomorrow for discussion, and I expect that will take place as well.
Jack from the Sun.
Hi, thanks very much for coming. Just to touch on Chris's point, if there was a possible case scenario that American troops did end up on Greenland shores, would they be met with a resistance?
We are not a country that finds ourselves at war with the US, and we want a peaceful solution, and we will work towards that for as long as we can at all. We see no point in using weapons against each other. We should be friends. We are allies. So this is my answer to you.
Just one quick follow-up. Trump's central claim that Russia and China are flexing their muscles in that part of the region. Do you accept that? And is there any scope for more US presence on Greenland to deter that threat?
I don't think there are call for concerns that can be really prevented by a use of force in Greenland. Of course, China and Russia have interest in the Arctic. Russia is an Arctic state. China has been interested in the Arctic for many years. I think that for us in Greenland, we have called for more monitoring of the Arctic for many years, and we are quite content with this moving forward if that's part of the agreement. We see no reason why this shouldn't be part of the agreement. We don't detect an actual threat, but we have no problems being more aware of what is going on around Greenland, and I think it makes a lot of sense. So we don't see a lot of Russian interest directly into Greenland either. Actually, we have, as following the sanctions, we have stopped all export to Russia of our fisheries and have found new markets. And we don't see any investments from either Russia or China into Greenland as well. So,
Hamish from the National.
Thanks. Just to go back to the point about potential US invasion, would you expect backing from NATO allies like the UK if that was to happen?
if this scenario was to happen, I think everybody in this room and everybody in your countries will have to figure out what is this new world order about. And I think we will stand in a completely new situation. So I really cannot answer your questions because it implies that it would be one country being attacked by another NATO partner, but actually we would all be under attack. So I think it will be a breakdown of rule of law and international law and existing agreements and treaties, and I think that would be a bad outcome and a big shame for us, because I think we have all prospered a lot from the NATO alliance. I think it has brought peace and prosperity and stability, not only to member countries, but wider than that. And I think it has served everybody quite well, all the member states. So I do hope we will not get to that situation. I think we should do everything we can to prevent it from happening.
Defending with force from...
I cannot answer your question. You would have to answer the member countries themselves.
Okay. David from the middle.
Hiya. Thank you so much for holding this briefing. What's been the sense from your visit to the UK in terms of the UK's resolve being held in the situation? And do you view the British Army should be prepared to bring UK troops on the ground as part of the wider UK as a NATO mission as an alternative to the US getting involved?
I will not speak to other countries' decisions in such a difficult matter. I think we should all await the meeting tomorrow and hope for a good dialogue and from honest conversation in a closed room, and trying to figure out what is up and down in this entire debacle, and try to find a way through and give them time to do that. But even though I just flew in this morning, I can say that the support from the UK, the support from France, from other countries, from Germany, are deep. We feel it in Greenland, and we take note of it, and we are very touched about it. So we think that it shows the national community, global community standing together, I think, on some very principled points about how to engage with each other. And if you think about international law, I think it was really a lot of the conventions that we rely on, a lot of the treaties we rely on, was built on some very dark chapters in the world history. And I think it would be such a shame for us all to leave those principles behind, because that would mean a totally changed reality for all of us.
Jill from the AP.
Hi, thank you very much. Can I come back to Russia and China? One of the claims that President Trump has made that there are multiple Russian and Chinese ships and subs around Greenland. Sorry, I mean, are there?
Not that we are aware of. There will be some, of course, but I also expect us to be aware of some of their whereabouts. As I mentioned, we support more monitoring. We are not against this. We think it makes sense to ramp up the monitoring of the Arctic, and are quite happy to house these installations if that's necessary. So I think we would all be naive if we were to say that nothing was going on, but I don't think there's any imminent threat. Also because I think in the geopolitical community, America is still recognized as quite a big superpower, and I don't see any appetite from Russia or China to destabilize this, or to, challenge this.
Thank you. Kieran from The Guardian.
Can I just ask a little bit more about what you would like to see from the UK at this point? Is there anything that you can do the statements it's already issued?
I think it's very important for the UK to insist upon the global community upholding international law in these times, and speak your mind about that. I also think it's of great importance to stress the relevance of NATO as a relevant and important alliance that has played a positive role in all of our lives and should continue to do so. I think those two things would be really of massive help for Greenland. And also, of course, when hopefully all of this cools down a bit, that you continue your collaboration investments into Greenland. We are quite happy about your partnerships. So that would be a path forward.
Will Stanley from Newsweek. I know you said that you think Trump's getting involved with national security, mining, or even expansion of ideology. I was wondering why did he start Greenland now?
Well, I think the American interest is not new. It's a decades-long interest. Our treaty is more than 80 years old now. So we have had collaboration with the U.S. over many decades. So it's not a renewed interest. And we have always... The threats, of course, are new. But the idea that we matter for the states, we have always known this. It's been part of our baseline for everything we do, that we do realize that we have to take into mind what is important for the US as well. And we recognize that we are part of their national fair interest. We do understand that. So for us, this is not new. When it comes to threats, I cannot speak to a single person's state of mind about that. You must ask the president.
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming. As you say, on behalf of the all-party parliamentary group, we have made it absolutely clear, and I think I can say without fear of contradiction that the view of parliamentarians has been unequivocal in saying that the future of Greenland is a matter for the people of Greenland and only for the people of Greenland, and that's something that we will be pursuing as parliamentarians. And thank you again to Naaja for taking the time to come and speak to us. It's been an absolute privilege for us to have you here, and this is something which we will continue in very, very soon.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
I need to.
Yeah, that's fine.
And I'll leave you. Go back to the office. In the office. Right, okay, I'll leave you in Kirsty's capable hands. See you back in the office.